upon us are the ulama. The ulama of the ummah. The ulama who have ikhlas and have ilm and have taqwa. Why? Because when the ulama who have ikhlas and taqwa are not given respect by the people, then people, because they become a symbol of the deen, and then people will not care anymore. Just like, for example, you see when a singer comes, everyone, they're fainting, what they call it, star crush or something? Star crush or something like that. Starstruck. Something like that. You know what I'm talking about. Like, they're fainting and they're dying. You know what I mean? So again, when there's the idea of respect of Ahlul Ilm, not because of themselves. No, we're all bashar. Because of what they represent. They represent the deen and the teaching of the deen. And then we should have also a third category that have haqq upon us are our teachers and mentors. Let me tell you something. There's no person in this world who did not have someone who had an influence on them when they're growing up. It could be a teacher, a mentor. Maybe your mentor was your father. Maybe it was your uncle. Maybe it was your grandfather. Maybe it was some elder man in the masjid who had hikmah and had passion and had care for other people. So those people have haqq upon them. The haqq they have upon us, make dua for them. Make dua for them that Allah reward them for what the benefits they've given us. And to appreciate and acknowledge what they have done for us, right? That's the least the haqq they have. The next group that have haqq, one of the most groups that have haqq upon us are our parents. Yes, our parents. Because first of all, think about it this way. Because we have this idea that we're so entitled, and my parents are kind of annoying me right now, and I'm so entitled, and you know what I mean? But here's the idea. Think about it this way, that in reality, your parents brought you into existence to begin with. It's all bi amrillah. We already know this. Plus, here's the other thing. The parents not only brought the kids into existence, but they literally gave them part of them. Because you know that in reality, whether we like it or not, this is a reality of life. We are putting part of us in our kids. So the youth we're losing, they're getting. The energy we're losing, they're gaining. The wealth we're losing, they're getting. It's like almost a bottle. You're pouring it into another bottle. You're losing that liquid. That's how much parents in general are dedicated. Okay, I know they have crazy parents on drugs or something, or living on the street. May Allah save us. But in general, if someone has Muslim parents who are following the deen and they're doing tarbiyah, they are doing a lot of tremendous favor to the kids. Especially the mothers. The mothers, they do some, you know what? Sometimes I say, how can the mothers do all of this? Like, I can't do this, honestly. Like, they multitask, do like 7, 8 things all together. And they get the food done, and then the kids to school, and then helping with the homework, and dropping off the first kid, and then the second kid, and Allahu Akbar, ishada. So it's amazing how much they do. And here's the thing. Let me tell you something. You know how people in general can be selfish, right? Right? And people, you don't want anyone to be better than you. Like, I want to be always the best. But then you see a lot of times parents, they're okay with their kids being better than them. That's fine. But no one else. So it is genuine. It's not like, we're acting. Parents are acting that they're doing good for their kids. It's genuine. It is real. The other category that have rights upon us, our spouses. And by the way, this is not talked about very much. That needs a whole night. Just talking, what are the rights of the spouses upon each other? For the men and for the women. Let me tell you why. Because this stuff tend to be mixed with culture. And we miss the deen part of it. We miss the deen part of it. Let me tell you something. First of all, each spouse has haqq upon the other one to treat them with ihsan. This is what Allah taught us. فَإِمْسَاكٌ بِمَعْرُوفٍ أَوْ تَسْرِيحٌ بِإِحْسَانٍ. So it should be وَعَاشِرُهُنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. Treat them and live with them in a dignified and honorable fashion. Do you think yelling or saying hurtful words, do you think that's like going to make someone stronger? That's an illusion. That's how people do it on the streets, not in the homes, right? That's the mobster style. And I hope we don't have mobster households, right? That's not the right way things are done. So, al-mu'amala bil-ma'ruf. And you will be amazed at saying kind words of appreciation, how long ways it goes, especially for ladies. Like, maybe she's done a lot, and then you say, wow, I really liked the meal today. It was good. Then she'll say, oh, this is the only day I got the food from the restaurant. But no, for real. Like you say, oh, the food today is so good. You understand what I'm saying? Like that tiredness of 5-6 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is, all of that exhaustion is gone with one word. And sometimes we think, oh yeah, but you shouldn't say that. That means you're soft. No, that's the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. He was the best of men to his wives. خيركم لأهله وأنا خيركم لأهلي. So he was the best to his wives. Same thing, also the husband have حقوق upon the wives, have haqq of obedience bil ma'ruf, obedience in a way that is reasonable. Not to have someone come in their house without their permission if they don't want that person in. Don't give any one of the husband's money without their permission, etc. So there are many huquq. It goes both ways. But again, when these huquq are fulfilled, the Islamic household functions well. Otherwise, broken family. And let me tell you something. Broken family equals broken kids. You can't have it both ways. And then broken family, broken kids, then khalas, then the deen is gone, and then things get out of control. So it all starts in the household, brothers and sisters. That's where it starts. The other category that has rights upon us, our children. They have right upon us to give them good tarbiyah, to teach them about Islam, about the deen, to teach them the ahkam of the deen at the appropriate age, to encourage them to love it. It's not just by force, by conviction and love and encouragement. And then to offer them healthy food that builds their bodies instead of junk food. And anything that helps them grow physically, spiritually, and religiously, that should be provided to them. There is a haqq, the next category of our relatives, ar-arham, upon us. Do you always, every day, have to visit your brother? Maybe you're both busy. That's fine. How about once a week, once a month, I send a text. Just text. It's so easy. Salam, how are you doing? Just, how are you? Voice message. How are you doing? Send. Easy. Very easy. But at least there's a connection maintained. So there's a haqq for the relatives. If someone needs help, even there's a haqq of nasiha. Maybe one of the relatives is doing something not so good. Then it is their haqq, you give them nasiha, one-on-one. Maybe they're not going to listen. Maybe they say, it's not your business, you've done your job. You've done your job, and the rest, biyadillah. Allah will take care of it. The next category, again, this is not an exhaustive list, but it's general list. Neighbors, haqqul jar. Whether the neighbor Muslim or not Muslim, at least don't hurt them, don't harm them with whatever, with loud noise, with garbage, etc. But also, if non-Muslim, you can show them the akhlaq of the Islam. This is how a lot of people get to learn about Islam. It's not through intellectual books or lectures, through actually meeting a Muslim and interacting with them. Yeah. Like a lot of people who are, what they call Islamophobic, if you ask them, have you ever met a Muslim? No. So it's just a preconceived notion from somewhere. It's not real. Another category of people, 2 left in the list. Another category of people who have rights upon us, people who we are superior to in a company, in a board in the masjid, in an organization. Maybe you have a position in the city hall, whatever. People who, maybe you're a boss, manager. People who are under your supervision have rights upon you as well. Again, rights of nasiha, rights of being fair with them, rights of showing them the qualities of being a leader, etc. The last group that have haqq upon us, maybe we never think about it that way, are actually the whole jama'ah of the Muslimin. Yeah. Like for example, may Allah help, we ask Allah to alleviate the pains of the Muslimin all around the world. I mean, like see in Turkey now, it's crazy. Like just in the first week they had 2,000 earthquakes. Like they had the main one, then they keep having those tremors. One after one. Till now, buildings are falling. They're having 6.4, 5.4 on Richter scale. Till now, buildings are falling. It's difficult. So at least someone say, Ya akhi, I don't have money. I don't have way to. Dua. Wish them well in your heart at least. At least that haqq of making dua for them. Of supporting them even emotionally. Even feeling bad for them. That, if you can't do anything else. If you can support financially, that's better. If you can actually go there and remove the rubble, that's even better. But again, they have haqq upon us. Random Muslimin have haqq of nasiha even. Like for example, I remember in some places around in the Muslim world, like for example, you'll see a kid in the masjid, they do, like they're supposed to do sujood, they're laying down basically. Flat like this, like push up. So then you have elders with hikmah, they say, hey, but it has to be done in a very passionate and wise way. You say, hey, let me show you how you do sajda, etc. Correct that, that kid. Or correct someone if you have that ability in a tactful and wise way. Like a lot of times we tend to have hands-off approach. Yeah, it's not my business. Yeah, what do I have to do with this? So the Muslimin have haqq upon us, at least give them nasiha. Now the second category of the haqq is things we don't do. Red X's, remember? We did the green checks. Now red X's. So basically, this is very simple. There are 3 categories that we need to make sure not to violate. 3 categories that we need to make sure not to violate. Against all of those categories of Muslims we mentioned before. First of all, any violation against their own nafs or their body. Now, here's usually what tends to happen, especially younger people. They say, hey man, we're just joking. Like, that person is cool with it. Maybe like they're friends in high school, whatever. And you guys know how it is. Like, sometimes people will feel peer pressured, or they'll feel they don't want to be the wimp. So they have to put up with some type of abuse to look strong. And then you're kind of, maybe it's slapping, maybe whatever. And they say, oh, they're cool with it. No problem. They're laughing. They're actually laughing it off. Well, you don't know what's in their heart. Maybe they're laughing it off as a defense mechanism, not to be even more embarrassed. So someone needs to understand that any type of assault on someone's body, that's going to be paid for. Nothing is going to go for free. Again, the hadith says, حتى اللطمة, even a slap, that you'll be asked to pay it back. Even a slap. So can you imagine anything even worse or beyond that? So that's the first thing. So someone needs to be careful about any type of abuse or harm, physical or psychological. It could be like a comment. Some comment someone says, commenting on someone's looks, someone's skin color, someone's height, right? Someone's intellect level, whatever. This is all going to be paid for. And here's the thing. Remember, people might not forgive you. And Yawm al-Qiyamah, you can't pay back with anything physical. You're going to have to pay back with your good deeds. That's the problem. And you need it. The second category of what you can't violate, and be careful of violating, is people's property. Starting with taking something from someone without permission. A lot of times we tend to be lax about that. Taking a pen from someone's bag. Taking a book from their bag. Taking something from them without their permission. Now, if they told you, you can take, ما في مشكلة, right? If they say, listen, man, you can take from whatever you want from my bag. Or someone, your friend, they come to your house, hey, man, open the fridge, help yourself. That's fine. But if someone, there's not this understanding between you and them, you can't do that. You say, oh, can I borrow this? Till next week. Next week never came. You know what I mean? Or can you loan me $50 till the first? Also the first never came. The month keep getting longer, the first never came. You see what I mean? All of that stuff. Or you paid someone for something, you didn't pay in full. You paid partially and then keep putting it off. The person didn't say anything and you didn't say, okay, I owe you, تفضل. Or you owe someone money and you kept putting it off, etc. All of these things someone need to be careful not to violate people's property rights of any type. That taking things without permission, damaging someone's property and not compensating them for it, or anything of that sort. And last thing, three things we said. People's physical entity and psychological entity. Second, their wealth. And third, their reputation and dignity. Someone need to be careful not to violate people's reputation and dignity. Brothers and sisters, this is done so easily in the age of social media. Like this, you put a post, write a comment, thumbs up, whatever. Yeah. And in 5 minutes, 200 people saw it. Check those posts. A lot of it is just roasting people, slandering people. You think this is going to go for free? No, it's not. I'm telling you right now, it's not. And I'm going to tell you something. If someone came Yawm al-Qiyamah and said, oh, we checked your record, people owe you 75,000 backbite. Would you like to retrieve them? Mm-hmm. Yeah, please. So you're not going to forgive? No, I need that right now. Yeah, that's how. You know who's going to act this way? Not strangers. People are going to act like this way with their own father and mother and spouse. People will not forgive their own dad. They're going to forgive you as a friend, as a C-list friend, or as some random dude on the street? Heck no, that's not going to happen. So again, someone needs to be careful about that. Or maybe like saying comments. People walk in and say, hey, what's up, shorty? Everyone is laughing. Yeah. No, yeah, this is a problem now. You have to ask them to forgive you. Yeah, so anyways, calling names, backbiting, spreading rumors. As I said, social media is so impressive for that. It gives you a lot of support, optimization. Anyways, so be very careful. Actually, the Prophet ﷺ taught us about that phenomena. And one time he asked the Sahaba, do you know the gist of the hadith in English? Do you know who is a bankrupt person? They said, yeah. Well, for us, the bankrupt person is someone who has nothing, no possession, no dirham, no money, no possession. And then the Prophet ﷺ elaborated that the true bankrupt person is who comes Yawm al-Qiyamah with salah and siyam. They've done their a'mal and zakah, but they have cursed this person. They have accused that person of indecent acts. They've taken the money of this person. They've caused that person to bleed. And they've struck that person. So this guy says, okay, give me my share. This guy, give me my share. This guy, give me my share. He ran out of gas. Okay, it does not say that in the hadith, ran out of gas. But you know the idea. Yeah, the gist of it, till his hasanat are gone. Then, where's the hasanat? No more. Okay, fine, let's unload some of our bad deeds on you then. Which is even worse. So again, brothers and sisters, this is how someone becomes a bankrupt, Yawm al-Qiyamah, which I'm sure we don't want to be bankrupt, Yawm al-Qiyamah. That's the only way we can get out. And here's the thing. Not only violating dhulm, doing dhulm upon people and violating people's huquq, not only is going to make us have to pay back, but here's one thing very important. It will take barakah away from our lives. I'm going to tell you a real story that is pretty crazy. Like maybe if I hadn't heard it from like very solid sources, it would be too crazy to believe. There's a school of ilm in Halab where I studied. It's called Al-Khusruwiyya. That's built by the Ottomans, by the Ottoman Empire. They built it in Halab. So basically, the wali, the governor of Halab at that time, he was looking for a person to head the project. So his condition was, whoever's going to head the project of building the madrasa, it's a madrasa of ilm, has to have not missed the sunnah of Asr for 40 years. Oh yeah. What do you call them? That's the job ad. And the job ad, first, haven't missed the sunnah of Asr before Asr for the last 40 years. Where are the applications? Crickets, nothing came. Wait, is the software down? No, nothing came in. Nothing came through. So anyway, they found a person with that description. Okay? So that person would get the workers in the morning and they'll build the madrasa. So one morning he came for inspection and he saw one of the workers was being yelled at by one of the contractors working there. He's being yelled at and it was obvious he was angry and his feeling was hurt. So he said, "Stop everyone, what happened?" He said, "Well, this guy, he was unfair with me, or he did dhulm upon me," the contractor. Now listen to how crazy this is. He said, "Okay, stop working." He said, "What have you built since the morning?" He said, "Well, we built these 2 rows of stone." He said, "Undo them." He told another guy, "Undo these 2 rows of stone." They said, "What? We did it already." He said, "No. These 2 rows of stone were built under oppression. That's going to take away the barakah from the school. Undo and do again by someone else." Can you imagine this? But as a result, when you have stuff like that, you will see that a lot of famous ulama who had imprint in the Muslim world have graduated from there. That's what the barakah does in your life and in my life and in all of our lives. So not only we should worry about, are we clear, but we should also seek the barakah from Allah. Because without of the barakah of Allah, there's not much left, honestly. Now here's the thing. Now let's talk about solution. Okay, now we got this. Now how do we fix this? Let's say someone decided, you know what, oh shoot, oops, I never thought about it. Oops, what do I do now? I have a long list of people that I backbit, that this. What do I do now? Well, if someone if someone wronged any of the rights of Allah, the way you fix it, you do three things. Decide not to do it again. Fair enough? Fair enough? Okay. 2, compensate with good deeds. 3, regret what you have done. 3 conditions. But what if it's the huquq of the ibad? The same 3, plus you add a 4th element, paying back what you can. Okay, so then you go back and you say, okay, let me see, who are the people that I loaned them, that they loaned me money I never returned? Oh, okay, there are 5. Fulan, 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 fulan. $50, $70, $20, $5. Okay, now I'm going to put a plan to give them back the money and apologize for being late. That's the money done. Let's say someone, I've been calling him weird stuff for the last 2 years. I go and I told him, you know what, you know that I'm sorry for what I've said. Someone say, yeah, but it's going to make me look bad. Well, you make the choice. You want to look bad now or look even worse later? It's your choice, not mine. Oh, you know, it's going to be like one prick of a needle now, or someone can cut off the leg later. You choose. Very simple. So someone will say, oh, yeah, but like how, I'm going to go tell them I was backbiting. Now, if you're calling them names, they know that. But what about backbiting? Well, you can tell them. You can tell them. Or some of the ulama have came with solutions that if you're unable to ask those people you backbit for forgiveness, then you can talk good about them when they're not around to compensate for the bad you said, or you can give sadaqah on their behalf or make dua for them just to compensate for that. So again, someone has to do something. Whatever you can return, something you borrowed, never returned, return it. It's never too late. Money, return it. Slandering, backbiting, ask them to forgive you. Etc., etc. So that's the way to fix the problem, is to actually go and address it and make things right. That's okay. So now we're pretty much done. We have few points we're going to talk about. 3 very, very short points. Someone might say, okay, I got all of this huquq of ibad things, but these people are wronging me too. You see, why aren't you good to your relatives? Because they're not good to me either. Why are you backbiting him? Because he's backbiting me as well. And by the way, you know what the funniest thing about backbiting? You'll say, hey dude, you're backbiting. Well, I'll say it to his face. Do you think that makes it okay? No, that means it's backbiting and being rude at the same time. Then someone said, yeah, but that's true. Yeah, if it's true, it's backbiting. If it's not true, it's even worse. That's like backbiting and making up stuff. That's even worse. So here's the thing. Do not worry about this is such an important key. Brothers and sisters, please, this point is very important. Do not worry about whether people are fulfilling your rights. Worry about you fulfilling their rights. Because guess what? You will be lucky to come Yawm al-Qiyamah people owing you. That's fine. Let it be that way. Better than being in the red. Be in the green. Yeah, be in the green. You don't need to be in the red. And then Allah will take care of the rest. The last point I want to mention, someone might say, oh, you know, all of this huquq of ibad stuff, you know, okay, God is for benefit of individuals and it's very selfish and you're worried about yourself. No, actually, these ahkam that Allah taught us will make the society a better place. Because let me tell you one simple example. You know, for example, backbiting, for example. You know what backbiting teaches someone? To be coward. Because you can't go and talk to someone directly. You can take advantage of them not being there and talking behind their back. That teaches us to be coward and to be munafiq, hypocrite. You have something, you have problem with someone, talk to them directly. That will help you come to a resolution, solve it, instead of just kalam that gets you nowhere. So if we really look at these ahkam, actually make society a better place. When I know that no one is going to take my things without permission, the Muslimin around me, they're not going to take my things without permission, that will make me feel more safe about where I'm living and who I'm dealing with. That makes me more trusting. Instead of, oh, I can't deal with anyone anymore because everyone I deal with, they are biting me from some angle. So again, brothers and sisters, all of the ahkam that Allah gives us in our life is only for our betterment. And not my betterment, your betterment, the society's betterment. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us see haqq as haqq and help us to follow it, and to see batil as batil and help us avoid it, inshallah. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us leave this dunya when we are clean, we don't owe anyone anything. La money, wala backbiting, wala physical abuse, wala anything. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will take care of the rest. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you for listening. I hope I didn't take too long and didn't give you headaches. جزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم.